To sell?
Vender. Vender.
Vender. It's only one stress. Vender. I'm selling it.
Lo vendo.
A little more push.
Lo vendo.
Right. Lo vendo. It doesn't hurt to push down. Yes. Even deeper. Especially if you need more time to think. Push it down deeper. Lo vendo. Yes. I'm not selling it.
No lo vendo.
Right. No lo vendo. I don't sell it. It's the same.
Oh, no lo vendo.
No lo vendo. Yes. It is curious. Only in English, and only in modern English, that we have the so-called progressive tenses with the ing. I am selling. And then we have the do's and the don'ts. The I don't to introduce a negation, and do you to introduce a question. Do you sell it? Yes. Do you know it? It used not to be that way in English. If we go back only a few hundred years. If we go back to the 17th century, and we will meet the King James version of the Bible translation that came out in 1611. And what does it say there? Father, forgive them, for they know
not.
Right, they know not
what they do.
Right, they know not what they do. Yes. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. You wouldn't say that in modern English. You will, well, even if you want to say for instead of because, yes, and you want to say they know not, but they don't know. Now, in modern English, you have the do's and the don'ts. They don't know, they do not know what they are doing. But not so in the 17th century modern English. Or Shakespeare. Where goest thou, my love? Where goest thou? Not where do you go or where are you going? Where goest thou? So here in Spanish you do have an ing tense, an ing signal, but not in the same way as in English. It's only what one is in the process of doing right now. But otherwise, I'm not selling it, generally speaking, would be just, I'm not selling it, I don't sell it. These are the signals into the present tense. So now give me again, I don't sell it.
No lo vendo. Vendo.
Right, no lo vendo. I'm not selling it.
No lo vendo.
No lo vendo, yes. You are selling it, would be.
Lo vende?
Right, of course. Lo vende. Why don't you sell it?
Perché no lo vende?
Right, perché no lo vende? Yes, that push is important. That push is a signal that you're expressing the present tense. Perché no lo vende? To write is escribir. Escribir, to scribble. To write, escribir. You like to write. I'm writing would be
escribo.
Escribo. If you want to say, I'm writing every day, in Spanish you say, all the days, todos los días, to make it a plural, all the days, for every day. So I'm writing every day would be
escribo todos los días. Días.
Right. Escribo todos los días. If you want to say, I like, which is used a lot in English and that's used a lot in Spanish. But in Spanish, for I like, you say actually, it pleases me. It pleases is gusta. It pleases me would be me gusta. It is pleasing to me, and that would be I like. Me gusta. Me gusta. So if you want to say I like to see it, would be it pleases me to see it. Me gusta.
Me gusta.
To see it.
Verlo.
Right. Me gusta verlo. But I don't like to do it.
Pero no me gusta.
Right. Pero no me gusta. Yes, because it does not please me. Because I don't like. Porque no me gusta to do it.
Hacerlo.
Right. Pero no me gusta hacerlo. How would you say? I like to go see it.
Me gusta.
To go? Do you remember to go?
Venir.
That is to come.
Oh, ir.
Right. And you remember what coming and going?
Ira.
Ira is right. So again.
Me gusta ira.
Me gusta ira. Go and see it. Just.
Verlo.
Right. Yes. Me gusta ir a verlo. I like to go see it and see it. Me gusta ir a verlo. So I like very much would be
Mi gusto.
no. It is not I. It is not I like. In Spanish you say it pleases me. Me gusta.
Mi gusta.
Right. Yes. Gusto can be used as a noun, which would mean pleasure. Mucho gusto, yes, would be much pleasure. If you meet somebody, you can say mucho gusto, yes, much pleasure. But I like is it pleases me, which is
Me gusta.
me
Gusta.
me gusta.
Me
That
gusta.
push is important.
Me gusta.
Me gusta, yes. So I like to write. I like very much to write.
Me gusta mucho
To write.
escriba.
There has to be since the infinitive, since the whole verb, the to form of the verb, has to have an R at the end, you have to hit that R. Yes? So it's either R, air, or ear. You have those options.
Escriba.
So, make it, but don't break it up.
Me gusta. Escriba.
Okay. If you say, me gusta escribar, you will be understood. You will get the feedback, and you will say, le gusta would be it pleases you, yes? Le gusta escribir, yes? And then you will say, I said escribar, but it should have been
Escribir.
beer.
Beer.
Yes, always watch for the feedback, yes? Yes. The important thing is in communication I want to encourage you to guess words, yes. Not structure. Structure you have to know. But with words, the important thing is to get it over the net. Yes. If you get it over the net, you will be understood. Even if you mispronounce it somehow, you will get the feedback. They will show you that they understood you. Yes. And in feedback, you learn how to pronounce it. Yes. So even if you say escribar, yes, me gusta escribar, you said, you will be understood. You got it over the net. If the worst thing that can happen is netball. it doesn't go over the net, you will get a blank look. Then you know that was a netball. You have another serve. You'll try something else. But as long as you get it over the net, you'll get the feedback. They will say, yes. They will say, yes. They will not correct you. The same as in English. If a Spanish speaker talks to you in English and you say, do you want to eat something? And they said, I eat it already. Yes. You will say, you ate. They will say, oh, yes, I ate. You will not say, don't say, I eat it. The same in communication, in any language. You get feedback as long as you get it over the net. You get it over the net, you communicate. You get the feedback, then you pick up on it. So again, if you want to say, I like, would be, it pleases me.
Me gusta.
Me gusta.
Me gusta.
You like would be, it pleases you. So not me gusta, but
Le
le
gusta.
gusta, right? And you will hear very often in Spanish, they will ask you, ¿le gusta? Yes? Inflection for a question. You like? ¿Le gusta? Sí, me gusta. Or no me gusta. So, again, now you know how to say, I like to write.
Me gusta escribir.
Escribir, yes. Me gusta escribir. So how would you say, if escribir is to write, I'm writing, I write?
Escribo.
Right. Escribo. You write, he writes, she writes.
Escribe.
Escribe, yes. Mm-hmm. How would you say, why don't you write to me?
¿Por qué?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Why don't you write to me? ¿Por qué?
¿Por qué?
You're thinking of how to use the don't you, yes? You don't have the do's and the don'ts.
¿Por qué no me escribe?
Right. ¿Por qué no me escribe? Why don't you write to me? Yes. What is to know?
Saber.
Saber. How would you say you know?
Sabe.
A little more push.
Sabe.
Right. Sabe. Do you know where it is?
Sabe dónde está.
Right. Sabe dónde está? Why don't you know it?
¿Por qué no sabe?
It.
No lo sabe.
So once more, why don't you know it?
¿Por qué no lo sabe?
Right. ¿Por qué no lo sabe? What is to do, to make?
Hacer.
Hacer. How would you say, why don't you do it?
¿Por qué no lo hace?
A little more push.
¿Por qué no lo hace?
Right. ¿Por qué no lo hace? Hace. ¿Por qué no lo hace? Why don't you do it? What is to leave?
Salir.
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 Right. Lir. Salir. At what time are you leaving? At what hour?
¿A qué hora?
Right. ¿A qué hora are you leaving?
¿Está?
Está, yes. But I'd like you to, right now, I'd like you not to think of ing tense. Yes, let's say there's not to use aming or ising or aring. And no do's and don'ts. So are you leaving is just the present tense. Would be
sale,
right. A little more push.
sale,
Sale. Right. So at what time are you leaving would be?
a che ora,
Once more.
a che ora,
A che ora?
sale,
Sale. Once more.
a che ora sale,
Right. A che ora sale? At what time are you leaving? At what time do you leave?
a che ora sale.
Right. A che ora sale? Yes. So I'm coming back to what I said before, that it is only in modern English that you use so much the so-called progressive tenses with the ing. Are you leaving? I am leaving. And I don't leave. And do you? Yes. It used not to be that way in Shakespearean English or in biblical King James Version English. In Spanish, you do have the ing tense, yes, but only to express what one is doing at that particular moment right now. For instance, if you want to say, I am leaving, right now I'm in the process of leaving. You can say I am, estoy, and the ing becomes yendo. Salir becomes saliendo. So estoy saliendo would be I am in the process of leaving ahora, right now. But you cannot say I am leaving tonight, I'm leaving tomorrow. You cannot say estoy saliendo mañana. Because if you say, if you're using the ing, that's what you're doing right now. So, therefore, at what time are you leaving would be a che ora, once more.
A che ora sale.
Yes, a little more push.
A che ora sale.
Right. A che ora sale. So, if you want to say, again, what are you doing today?
¿Qué hace?
A little more push.
¿Qué hace?
¿Qué hace?
¿Qué hace hoy?
Hoy. ¿Qué hace hoy? What are you doing tonight?
¿Qué hace esta noche?
Right. ¿Qué hace esta noche? But if you want to say, what are you doing there right now? You can also say ¿qué hace ahora? But you can also say ¿qué está haciendo? What are you? ¿Qué está haciendo? The ing is yendo. From hacer, haciendo. ¿Qué está haciendo? What are you right now in the process of doing? So, again, if you want to say, what are you writing? Generally, what do you write or what are you writing would be ¿qué?
Che ascribe. Ascribe.
Right. Say it again.
Che ascribe.
Right. ¿Qué escribe? But if I want to say, what are you right now in the process of writing? Yes. What are you writing right there would be what are you?
¿Qué está escribiendo?
Escribiendo.
Escribiendo.
Yes. Right. ¿Qué está escribiendo? Yes. But usually let's stick to ¿qué escribe? Right now. ¿Qué escribe? To say or to tell is
Decir.
decir. What are you saying would be ¿qué dice? It started out, it used to be, since decir used to be ¿qué dese? Decir, dese. But through constant usage, ¿qué dese became Dice was easier to pronounce. So it's now dice. Yes. Instead of dese, dice. D-I-C-E. Que dice. Que dice. So what are you saying would be?
Que dice.
Que.
Que dice.
Que dice. Que dice. Again. What are you saying?
Que dice.
Que dice. But, so what is que? But what, if and whenever you want to use what in the middle of a sentence, not in the beginning to introduce a question with what, which is que, but in the middle of a sentence, what is loque, 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 like a lock, loque, but spelled in two words, lo, L-O, and que, Q-U-E, loque, but pronounced loque, loque. For instance, if you want to say, I'm sorry, but I don't understand what you're saying, would be?
Lo siento.
But, lo siento.
Lo siento.
But?
Pero.
Pero. I don't understand.
No comprendo.
No
comprendo.
Comprendo.
No comprendo.
What middle? Loque.
Loque.
Loque, you are saying.
Desi. Dice.
Right. Loque dice. So, it used to be dese, but it changed to dice. Dice. D-I-C-E. So, no comprendo lo que dice. I don't know what you want, would be.
No sé.
No sé? What middle?
Lo que
You want.
quiere.
Right. No sé lo que quiere. I don't know what you want. How would you say, that's not what I want? It is not what I want.
No es
No es
lo que
I want.
quiero.
Right. No es lo que quiero. That's not what I want. No es lo que quiero. Mm-hmm. How would you say, what do you want?
Que quiere.
Right. Que quiere. What do you want to say would be?
Que quiere decir.
Yes, once say it again.
Que quiere decir.
Que quiere decir. Right. Que quiere decir. It is interesting that the combination of want to say in Spanish means to mean. So que quiere decir means what do you mean? So to mean is to want to say. So que quiere decir. That combination of want to say means to mean. Que quiere decir. So if you want to say, I don't understand very well what you mean, would be?
No comprendo.
No comprendo very well.
Muy bien.
Right. No comprendo muy bien. What middle?
Lo que.
Lo que?
Lo que.
You mean would be you want to say.
Que.
Lo que you want.
Lo que quiere decir. Decir.
Right. Yes. So, I don't understand, no comprendo, muy bien, very well. Lo que, what middle? Lo que, you mean, quiere decir. What you want to say, lo que quiere decir. And how would you say, you don't understand what I mean? You don't understand?
No comprende.
Right. A little more push.
No comprende.
Right. No comprende. What I mean. What middle?
Lo que
I mean, I want to say.
quiero decir.
Right. No comprende. You don't understand. Lo que quiero decir. What I mean. Because that's not what I mean.
¿Por qué
That's not.
no es
What I mean.
lo que quiero decir?
Right. Porque no es. Because it is not. Or that's not. What middle? Lo que I mean quiero decir. Porque no es lo que quiero decir. So, to speak.
Hablar.
Okay. You get the feedback, which is hablar.
Hablar.
Right. Hablar. I speak would be.
Hablo.
Right. Hablo. Hablo.
Hablo.
Yes. Hablo. What is to prepare?
Preparar.
Right. Preparar. I am preparing it.
Lo preparo.
Right. Say it again.
Lo preparo.
Yes. But the O ending still has to be very clear, yes, without hitting it. So you can push down a little more. Lo
preparo.
Right. Good. Lo preparo. Lo preparo. Yes. So the push is a signal into the present tense, but then the ending has to be clear. Lo preparo. I'm preparing it. But I don't accept it.
Pero no lo acepto.
Perfect. Pero no lo acepto. Yes. So we have 3 types of verbs. Are, er, and ir. But there's always the are at the end. I will divide them and put all the verbs, all those 3 verbs actually into 2 categories, not 3 but 2. And I will put them onto 2 tracks. And we'll say one track are the are verbs, meaning AR, pronounce R. Hablar, comprar, preparar, they always end in R. Yes, the AR is R. That will be on the R track. And the other track would be ER and IR verbs. In other words, we have 2 categories, not 3 but 2. Either the verb ends in R, AR, is one category, or it doesn't end in AR, that is the other one. One of the 2. Either AR, pronounced R, or not AR. Those are the air or ear. It's not AR. So these are the 2 tracks. We have been using primarily now the not AR track, like comprender, like escribir, like vender, like hacer, like salir, and so on. Where for I, but on both tracks, for the present tense, you have to push down. But after you push down, you have to surface. For I, on both tracks, you surface on O. So regardless of whether it is an R verb or not an R verb. As you just did, preparar, I'm preparing is?
Preparo.
Preparo. I'm preparing it?
Lo preparo.
Lo preparo. To accept is aceptar, I'm accepting it.
Lo acepto.
Lo acepto, only one C.
Lo acepto.
Lo acepto, yes. So, whether it is an R verb or not an R verb, for I, after you push down, you surface on O. But for you, he, she, it, we have been using the track with er and ear verbs, where after you push down, you surface on E. Yes? Comprender, you understand, is
Comprende.
comprende. Yes. Salir, you are leaving, is
Sale.
sale. To do, hacer, you are doing,
Hace.
hace. Yes. Escribir, you are writing,
Escribe.
escribe. The one little difference was with the decir, you are saying is
Dice.
dice instead of dese. Dice. So that is the track, which is not the R track. On the R track, for he, she, it, and you, after you push down, you will surface on A, not on E, but on A, which means that we have two key sounds. We have two tracks, the R track for the R verbs, AR verbs. After you push down, for he, she, it, and you, it will surface on A. On the other track, that is not the R track, after you push down, you surface on E. So we have either A or E, A or E. These are the two key sounds in the whole present tense with all verbs. So, therefore, you speak would be
Habla.
right. You push down, habla. You speak, he speaks, she speaks, it speaks, habla. So, if you ask somebody, do you speak English, would be
Habla inglés.
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 Inglés. How would you spell Inglés?
I with an X. I.
Inglés. I
With a N.
I-N, yes.
G. L. I.
I would be E. Inglés.
E. With an E. Double S.
One S is
one
enough.
S. Okay.
So once more, say it.
INGLES.
INGLES. According to the nose rule, I would pronounce it Ingles.
Then there's an accent.
Where?
Over the E.
Right. So INGLE accent over the ES. Ingles. Because without the accent it would be Ingles. Yes. Remember the nose rule. Yes? Is that clear?
Yeah.
So Ingles. So again, do you speak English? Would be
Habla.
once more. Yes.
Habla inglés.
Right. Habla. That push is habla inglés. Who is quién? Quién is who. Who or whom. Quién. Who speaks English here?
¿Quién habla inglés aquí?
Right. ¿Quién habla inglés aquí? Yes. Nobody is nadie. Nadie. N-A-D-I-E. Nadie. We had earlier nada was nothing. N-A-D-A. But nobody, nadie. Nobody speaks English here.
Nadia.
Nadie.
Nadia. Habla inglés
Here.
aquí.
Right. Nadie habla inglés aquí. If you want to say everybody, in Spanish, you say all the world. All we had todo.
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 El mundo. El mundo means the world. Todo el mundo. Everybody. Everybody speaks Spanish here. Todo el
mundo.
mundo.
El mundo.
Right. Todo el mundo speaks Spanish.
Habla español.
Right. Todo el mundo habla español. How would you say, why don't you speak Spanish with me?
¿Por qué?
¿Por qué?
¿Por qué?
Don't you speak?
No habla
Right. Spanish
español
with me.
conmigo.
Right. ¿Por qué no habla español conmigo? What is to buy?
Comprar.
Comprar. Mm-hmm. I am buying it.
Lo compraro. Compro.
Good. Say it again. Little more push.
Lo compro.
Perfect. Lo compro. I'm buying it. How would you say, I do not buy it. I don't buy it.
No lo compro.
Right. No lo compro. I don't buy it. How would you say, I'm not buying it?
No lo compro.
Right. No lo compro. Why don't you buy it?
¿Por qué no lo compro?
¿Por qué?
¿Por qué no lo compro?
You just...
no. ¿Por qué no lo comprar? ¿Por qué no lo compra?
¿Por qué?
¿Por qué no lo compra? Compra.
Yes, but I have a little problem. I got the signal now. The present tense signal. Yes, the com. Yes. But I couldn't quite make out the ending. You see, Spanish is immediately after one gets the signal into the present tense, one tunes into the ending. The ending has to, even unstressed, has to be clear, because all the vowel sounds in Spanish are very clear, even unstressed, even if whispered. The vowel sounds are as clear as a church bell. So how would you say, why don't you buy it?
¿Por qué no lo compra?
Right. No, it was clear. Very clear. ¿Por qué no lo compra? Compra. The push is the signal into the present tense, and the A is clear. ¿Por qué no lo compra? How would you say, I don't know why I'm not buying it?
No sé por qué
I am not buying it.
no lo compra. No lo compro.
Right. Yes. Yes, no sé por qué no lo compro. Push down and surface on O for I. No lo compro. So, to sell is
vender.
vender, yes. Why don't you sell it?
Porque no vende.
It.
Porque no lo vende.
Right. That was clear. ¿Por qué no lo vende? Push and E. ¿Por qué no lo vende? I'm not selling it because I don't want to sell it.
No lo compro.
That is, I'm not buying it.
No lo vendo.
No lo vendo because I don't want to sell it.
Porque no quiero venderlo.
Yes, I didn't quite make out what I don't want. ¿Por qué?
No quiero.
You're right. No, yes. Porque no quiero to sell it.
Venderlo.
Yes, but don't break it up.
Venderlo.
You still broke it up.
Venderlo.
Right, venderlo.
Venderlo.
Yes. Because it's spelled in one word.
Right.
Venderlo.
Venderlo.
What is I speak?
Blah.
That is to speak, yes.
Oh, hablo.
A little more push.
Hablo.
Hablo. You speak, he speaks, she speaks, it speaks.
Blah.
That is a netball. Because he will not, but it's fine, because he will not be understood.
Habla.
Right. Yes. That push is important. Habla. Habla. Mm-hmm. If you want to say they speak, they for all verbs, you just add an N to A or E, depending on what track you are on. So they speak would be
Hablan.
hablan, right. So the N goes to the A. Hablan. They understand would be
Comprenden.
right. Comprenden. So that N goes either to A or E, because the two key sounds are now A and E. A and E. A spelled A and E spelled E. Yes. A and E with the N is for they. So they're doing it would be
Lo hacen.
right. Very good. Good push. Lo hacen. They are buying it.
Lo compran. Lo compran.
Right. Say it again.
Lo compran.
Right. Lo compran. Lo compran. They're selling it.
Lo venden.
Once more.
Lo venden.
They are selling it. And is he selling it?
Lo venden.
Right. Yes. So one still has to hear it, to hear the N. So say it again.
Lo venden.
Right. Lo venden. Lo venden. They're selling it. Now comes a little bonus. The bonus is that the same N, which we use for they, also goes for you all. You plural. So For instance, if you want to say, why don't you sell it? You're asking one person, Señor, why don't you sell it? Would be.
¿Por qué no lo vende?
Yes, but I got the signal. I tuned into the ending, and it didn't come out clearly.
¿Por qué no lo vende?
Yes,
Señor.
but do it with more conviction.
Vende.
Vende. Yes.
Vende.
Right. But because the same with you, for you to understand, yes, when you hear the push, you know it's the present tense, and you will tune into the ending to know who.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to come out clearly without pushing it. So once more, why don't you sell it?
¿Por qué no lo vende?
So, yes, I heard it with a strain. I don't want you to be understood with a strain.
¿Por qué no lo vende?
Without conviction. I need more conviction.
Señor, ¿por qué no lo vende?
Right. Yes, ¿por qué no lo vende? De. Yes.
De.
Now you're talking to several people, to a couple or to several people. Why don't you sell it?
¿Por qué no lo venden? No.
More conviction.
¿Por qué no lo venden?
You're talking to several people. Several people. You all is the same as they, which means what you need is what?
En.
Right. That N has to be heard and not guessed. Okay.
¿Por qué no lo venden?
Right. Yes. Now you can give me more push.
Venden.
Right. That was clear. ¿Por qué no lo venden? You're talking to Señor and you say, why don't you do it? Would be, ¿por qué?
¿Por qué no
lo
hace?
Right. ¿Por qué no lo hace? Now you're talking to several people and say, why don't you all do it?
¿Por qué no lo hacen?
Yes, once more.
¿Por qué no lo hacen?
Yes, but I want to hear it clearly. What?
Hacen. Sen.
Right. Say it again.
¿Por qué no lo hacen?
Right. ¿Por qué no lo hacen? And why don't they do it? It's the same.
¿Por qué no lo hacen?
Right. ¿Por qué no lo hacen? I would like to go over again the use of the present tense of all verbs. Again, we have three types of verbs. All verbs in the basic form, the to form, yes, and an R. AR pronounced R, ER pronounced er, and IR pronounced ir. Yes, but there's always an R, so you always have to hit the ending. So to speak would be
Hablar.
There's only one push.
Hablar.
Hablar, right. Yes. And to eat?
Comer.
Comer, right. Comer. C-O-M-E-R. Mm-hmm. To understand?
Comprender.
Comprender, yes. And to come?
Venir.
Venir. Venir. Venir. Mm-hmm. And to leave?
Salir. Salir.
Right. Salir, yes. Salir. If you say salir, you may not be understood. It's salir. To do, to make.
hacer,
Hacer. And to say, to tell.
decir,
Decir. Okay. For the present tense, present tense, not present, but present, you have to give a present tense push, meaning you have to push down on the penultimate syllable, on the syllable before last. That will be the signal, considered as a signal into the present tense, that you're using the present tense. That push into the syllable, penultimate syllable, or if a verb only has two syllables, the penultimate syllable, the syllable before last, is the first one. So, I want would be
quiero,
right. Quiero. Yes. You want
quiere,
no. Quiere, you will not be understood because there doesn't exist quiere. That you are only allowed one single stress. Never more, not the slightest indication more than one.
quiere,
And in the present tense, you know now where the present tense push is.
quiere,
Right. Quiere. Quiere. I can.
puede, puede,
That is you can.
Oh.
Okay.
puedo,
Right. Puedo. Puedo. Yes. What is to speak?
hablar,
Hablar. I speak.
hablo,
Right. Yes, you push down on the first syllable here. Yes. Hablo. I speak. I don't speak.
no hablo,
No.
no hablo,
Yes. Say it again.
no hablo,
Right. No hablo. I understand.
comprendo,
Right. Comprendo. I don't understand.
no comprendo,
No comprendo. You understand?
comprende,
Right. Comprende. Do you understand it?
lo comprende,
Right. Lo comprende. Do you understand me?
me comprende,
Right. Me comprende. Don't you understand me?
no me,
No.
no me comprende,
Right. No me comprende. Why don't you understand me?
¿por qué no,
¿Por qué?
¿por qué no me comprende?
Right. ¿Por qué no me comprende? Since you're using por qué, you already have the question. The inflection to a question is not necessary, but you can also have it. ¿Por qué no me comprende? They understand would be
Comprenden,
right. Comprenden. So that N is hooked on to the A or E, because altogether we are playing with two key sounds. A, if we are on the R track, or E, if we are on the other track. We have two tracks for three types of verbs. One is for AR verbs. I call them the R verbs, yes, because the AR is pronounced R. Yes, they are on the R track. The other track is for air and ear verbs. So in the present tense, for both tracks, you push down first, and for I, on both of them, you surface on O. Yes, the O is an O, like in obey. Comprendo. Hablo. It doesn't matter whether it is the R track or the other track. Otherwise, if it is not I, for I, then the two key sounds are A or E. If you're on the R track, meaning AR, you push down and you surface on A, on the R track. If you're on the other track, air or ear, you push down and you surface on E. So it's A or E, A or E. So you speak would be
hable. No,
okay. As you're pushing down, yes, while you're pushing down, you may give yourself enough time to think how to surface. If you need more time, push down deeper. And you can push down more slowly. So you want to say you speak, push down deep, and take your time as you're pushing down to know how to surface. Because you surface either on A or on E, depending on what track you're on. So you speak would be
hable.
Are you on the R track or the other track?
I'm on the wrong track. It's habla.
What's more?
Habla.
Yes. Blah. It's very important. And very soon you will see why it is so important. And the other thing is that all vowel sounds, even unstressed, have to come out very, very clearly. Again, the letter A. How do you pronounce the A in English? Okay, in English, there are quite a variety of different ways to pronounce the A. Hat, has, hate, yes. Hall. I mean, there are quite a number of ways. Yes. Not so in Spanish. In Spanish, the A is always a clear A. Very clear A. Even if you whisper it, it's A, A, A. The E, the letter E, is an E, like in let. Not A, but E. K, not K. E. The I is always an E. Venir, salir. The O is an O, like in obey, not an O, but O. So I speak would be
Hablo.
right. Hablo. Hablo. And the U is always an U, like a double O in English, like in food. U. But again, very important, especially the sounds of an A as A, and the E is an E, and the O is an O. Now, again, whenever you use the present tense, and you push down on the syllable before last, or on the first syllable if there are only two, and as you push down, that gives you also time to think how to surface. For I, you surface on both tracks, you surface on O. There are only a few exceptions in the entire Spanish language where you don't have a clear O for I. There are 4 exceptions where you have an OY instead of an O, instead of instead of an O. You already know 3 of them. I am going is
Voy.
boy, V-O-Y. I am is
Estoy.
estoy, E-S-T-O-Y, or from a ser,
Soy. Soy.
I am soy, S-O-Y. So we have already 3 O-Ys, yes. There's a 4th one of to give. Do you remember to give?
Dar.
Dar. And I give is doy, D-O-Y. So here we have the 4 exceptions in the entire Spanish language, where for I you don't have a clear O, but O-Y. Boy, or boya, I'm going to, estoy and soy and doy. And then we have one where there's no O at all, one exception, that is I know. You remember I know?
Say.
Say. Yes. And I don't know?
No sé.
No sé. I don't know it.
No lo sé.
No lo sé. Right. Yes. There's another exception. But otherwise, you have an O. Oh. But if it is not for I, if you want to say you, he, she, it, for everybody else, we are playing with 2 key, I call them 2 key sounds, A and E. A on the R, if you're on the R track meaning AR verbs, yes, R verbs, AR, and E, spelled E, if it is on the other track, air and ear track. So therefore, if you want to say once more, you are speaking, he is speaking, she is speaking.
Habla.
I received the signal. The push was good. I received the signal of the present tense, and automatically my ears tuned in to the ending to know who is speaking, and I couldn't understand who, because even the unstressed vowel sounds have to be very clear like a church bell. If it is not clear, it cannot be understood. So, he's speaking or you're speaking is habla. Yes. So there's a clear, it comes out as an A. Yes. Even unstressed. Habla. To understand is
Comprender.
comprender. I understand would be
Comprendo.
once more.
Comprendo.
Yeah, but I still want to hear it a little more clearly.
Comprendo.
Comprendo. Yes, comprendo. Oh. Mm-hmm. And you understand, or he understands.
Comprende.
Right. Comprende. Yes. Now here, you're on the other track, so you have the E. Comprende. Yes. So we're only playing with 2 sounds, but those 2 sounds, the A and the E, even unstressed, have to come out very clearly. To buy is
Comprar.
once more.
Comprar.
Comprar. Why don't you buy it? Would be
¿Por qué
¿Qué?
no lo compre? Compra.
Oh. Yes. So don't rush it.
Right.
So ¿por qué no lo compra? Yes. Because it's an R. You're on the R track. Comprar, compra. To sell is vender. Vender. V-E-N-D-E-R. I'm selling it.
Lo vendo.
Right. Lo vendo. Why don't you sell it?
¿Por qué no lo vendo?
That is why don't I sell it.
¿Por qué no lo vende?
Right. ¿Por qué no lo vende? Yes. If you need more time, ¿por qué no lo vende? Then you push down a little deeper. But it's easy because you have just the two options, either a or e. For they, you hook on the n to the a, makes it an, and to the e makes it an. That is for they and for you all, you plural, the same n. So again, how do you say, why don't you sell it?
Porque no lo venden.
Right. ¿Por qué no lo vende? Now you're talking to several people, to a couple or to a group of people. Why don't you sell it?
Porque no lo venden.
Right. ¿Por qué no lo venden? They're not selling it.
No lo venden.
Yes, once more.
No lo venden.
Yes. But the N has to come out a little more clearly.
No lo venden.
Right. No lo venden. Still unstressed, but still one has to hear it. Why don't you buy it? You're talking to señor, señora, señorita. Why don't you buy it?
¿Por qué no lo compra?
Right. Good push. ¿Por qué no lo compra? Yes. They're not buying it.
No lo compran.
No lo compran. Right. Now you're talking to a couple. Why don't you buy it? Or to a group of people. Why don't you all buy it?
¿Por qué no lo compran?
Once more.
¿Por qué
¿Por qué?
no lo compran?
Right. ¿Por qué no lo compran? So the N still has to come out. You have in Spanish the use of you, but you also have in Spanish the use of thou, usually with family members and friends and so on. One may switch from the usted, the use of usted, you, to tú, for you, for thou. Of course, as a tourist, if you go to Spain or Latin America or whatever, I mean, you will talk to señor, señora, señorita, which is usted. I'm going to show you how to use the thou form. I would recommend not to initiate it, but if somebody is a friend and they initiate it, then you can switch over to thou, because I'm going to show you that it is very easy to do. What is easy about is that instead of the N, which you hook onto the A or to the E, yes, the N meaning you all, or they, you hook on an S. That S is the thou part. Let's call the person you're using the thou to, let's call it for the first name Roberto or Roberta. And so if you want to ask Roberto or Roberta, do you speak English? Would be?
¿Hablas inglés?
Right. Hablas. Yes. Now they want to hear the S. Yes. Hablas. S. Unstressed, but hablas. Hablas inglés? So you're talking to Roberto and you say, why don't you speak Spanish with me? Why?
Porque.
Once more.
Porque.
¿Por qué? Don't you speak Spanish?
No.
Now you're talking to Roberto or Roberta.
No hables.
Once more.
Hables.
Again, you have to know after you push down whether you come up on A or E, on an or N, on as or S. Those two sounds are the two key sounds.
¿Por qué no hablas
Right. Spanish.
español para
With me.
conmigo?
Right. ¿Por qué no? If you need more time, then push down. You don't have to rush it. ¿Por qué no hablas? Yes, you can push down and take your time. But take your time only to choose between A and E. But that has to be clear. I'll show you why it is so important also. Because if you switch those two sounds, as you just did, yes, you said hables instead of hablas, that switch gives you the imperative in Spanish, meaning the command. For instance, if you want to say, speak Spanish with me, if you use the command, yes, imperative, speak, then you switch tracks. Switching tracks meaning from A to E, or E to A. Yes. After the push. So, speak Spanish with me would be?
Hable.
Once more?
Hable.
Yes, say it again.
Hable.
Did you give me an S?
No.
No. Okay, good. So don't.
Usted. You're usted.
Okay. Yes, I just wanted to make sure. Hable español conmigo.